Rebecca Hargraves and Devon Stack.
Hey!
Dude, can anything work properly?
Yeah,
We're not streaming live on YouTube right now, but we will be. I'm going to post this stream when we are done. This is Outlaws. I am Rebecca Hargraves.
And I am Devon Stack, and we'll probably have a few technical issues. We haven't been able to try this out till right now, so hopefully everything will be smooth. I've never had guests on the Insomnia stream. For those of you who are fans of the Insomnia stream, so that the whole technical side of setting up someone remotely and doing all that was a little bit of a technical nightmare, but yeah, the nightmare is mostly over. And
just a little bit of a technical nightmare.
A little bit. YouTube apparently is not working right now, but we'll get that straightened out for next show. We're just happy that it's live and you can see us and hear us right now, so that's kind of a good thing. But yeah, so this is the new show we're going to be doing on Wednesdays, high noon, Pacific time, every week, and I don't know. I think it's going to be kind of awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Just kind of awesome. Well, Devin and I both love true crime, but we don't want to create another true crime podcast because there are thousands. So we were like, what can we do? What can we talk about that's actually going to help white people? So we're going to talk about a lot of vigilante justice, things like that. It is not instructive. It's not.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can say that. I don't know. But like, it's also maybe a little, I don't know. Maybe instructive's not the right word. Inspiring. How about that? Inspiring.
I like that.
Inspiring. So, but also, I want to thank Rebecca because I was struggling, especially with, because it's, for those of you who don't know, I'm a beekeeper, and especially as spring rolls around, which in the desert is right now, it's happening. It's hard to do 2 late night shows every week, but then also get up early enough to where, in the desert, meaning like 4 or 5 a.m. to do beekeeping. And so I was going to move the Wednesday show to the daytime or maybe not even do it anymore. And I was kind of like, I was actually kind of leaning towards like not doing a Wednesday show, at least when I was doing the beekeeping. But Rebecca twisted my arm and just because of the way things sort of have worked out with her, she was like, hey, no, you should do a Wednesday show. Just do it earlier in the day. I'll help, take off some of the load and do some of the prep work and make it a little bit easier. So everyone can thank Rebecca here for keeping it. Maybe it's not the Insomnia stream, but it's it's like the daytime version of it. It's the hungover stream. I don't know, what would we call it?
Right. And I'm a huge Devon Stack fan, and so I was like, we're not going to be getting less Devon Stack. That's the important thing. Like, is our show going to impede Devon from making content? That cannot happen. Also, I should note that this is not the reason that I left the Backlash. I didn't have like another project in the works, and I jumped ship. That's not what happened. So
I honestly, it just kind of worked out this way.
It did work out this way. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what to do with Wednesdays, and then she freed up, and I was like, all right, maybe we'll try it out. I guess.
Okay. I've been ragging on Devon for like 8 years. Like, let's do a podcast, and he's like, I'm a maverick. I don't know, I'm a maverick. So before we went live, Devon was working out some audio issues, and the roller coaster of emotions that he was putting me through. Like we were testing things out, and he's like, "Oh, I got it. I'm a fucking genius. Oh no, this is never gonna work. Oh, I'm so smart. Oh, I'm retarded." I was like, I'm so stressed out right now, so you guys might have to bear with us. But I think we got all the kinks worked out, except that this is not streaming on YouTube. But who cares about YouTube?
It's fun. And we'll get again. The show's. The graphics are new. I worked on this all weekend, and there's still a couple glitches and kinks here, but we'll get those smoothed out. And I think you guys are gonna like it. So anyway, I guess we should just jump right into it.
First, though, doesn't it feel unnatural to be talking about some evergreen topic with this Iran situation? I know you talked about it on Wednesday, but good Lord, has this administration failed more spectacularly than any of us had imagined?
Oh, I imagined it though.
I mean, yeah, I suppose this wasn't my 2026 predictions, but just we will do anything at the behest of the Jews. It's almost incredible.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing that I as I talked about on Saturday, it's the only thing that really bothers me because prior to the election, I did tell people, look, I can't support Trump because it's going to be a lot of bad things and really no upside. And this is one of the bad things that was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the thing I really can't, I'm losing my patience for these people trying to make excuses for Trump. Like, oh, he's being tricked by Netanyahu. Oh, it's like, this is what they did.
No, this is what they do.
Yeah. Make excuses. Just
exactly.
admit he's shitty. He's a goy slave. And, and the other thing that bothers me too is people try to think that, somehow he's doing it against his will, like it's blackmail or it's, we're going to release the real Epstein files or the golden pager is going to explode in your pocket. And it doesn't, it's like, no, dude, his dad was giving money to Zionist terrorist organizations before most of us were born. Okay. Yeah. And he grew up in a very Jewish part of New York, working side by side with Jews as his dad built synagogues, Yep. And he packed the Trump organization before he was president, head to toe with Jews. And he got all kinds of awards from Jewish groups for decades. He hosted Zionist dinners. His mentor was Roy Cohn. I don't know how his daughter married Jared Kushner. He couldn't get more Jewish. Like, he really couldn't get more Jewish. And so it shouldn't come as any surprise. I mean, when Mark Levin
the
tells
most
people,
Jewish president.
yeah. When Mark Levin says you're the most or the first Jewish president in America, I mean, that should mean something, That should mean something.
It was always this way. That's hard for people to swallow.
Yeah. So I kind of like that we're not going to maybe focus on that too much, because that's the other thing too, is I feel like there is kind of there's too much of that stuff. It's like you go to the Rumble front page, for example, and which is probably where you are because YouTube's broken, right? But if you go to the Rumble front page, it's like every single it's like 50 streams about like what's going on with Iran and what kind of excuses can we make for Trump. And it's just I don't know. I'd rather just talk about something else.
So we're going to talk about Ken McElroy. What a bastard.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because you'll see why here in a moment. When you first sent me over this this guy that we're going to cover, at first I was like, wait, is he the good guy or the bad guy? Like,
he does have kind of like a masculine outlaw thing going. Yeah, I kind of understand. Yeah.
Until I saw like how it concluded, I was like, wait, I'm not sure. Is this guy based or is or is this like And then I was like, oh, now I get it. Okay, I see why. I see why we're doing this. So we'll get into that. All so right. I guess if you want, I guess we could do a little quick intro into Ken McElroy. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Ken McElroy.
Sure. So he was this hick. He was born in Northwest Missouri. I think he was one of like 14 children. He couldn't read or write. And he just terrorized Skidmore. They call him a rural terrorist. So a lot of it was like old timey stuff, like cattle theft, things like that, things that they used to summarily murder people over for a good reason, because that's people's wealth. But he also was, a child rapist. He had 2 attempted murder charges. He was just terrorizing this town. But Skidmore, population 400, it was so easy to push jurors around and to push the marshal around. And he just owned the town, and the townspeople were were really sick of it. So this was the all of his mayhem was happening in the 60s and 70s mostly, but I don't want to do
don't
any
spoil it.
spoilers.
Well, let's take a look. We got a clip. 60 Minutes did a special report in 1981.
Yeah,
about
Morley
this case.
Safer, world-class Jew there.
Let's go there. Ba-ba. So let's play a little bit of this clip here.
The terror most of us know is anonymous, a backstreet mugger, an urban guerrilla, or even more anonymous, the threat of nuclear war. But what happens when the terror has a face on it, when it's one of our neighbors, a bully? The man who terrorized Skidmore, Missouri was just that, a bully who struck fear into the heart of a town. Even the town marshal was scared to take him on. A one-man reign of terror in a town that just didn't know how to handle it. It would be hard to find a patch of America more rural than northwestern Missouri. The countryside here in Nottoway County is almost absurdly beautiful. It is America pastoral, untouched by big cityness. Not outgoing with strangers, but good neighbors with each other. Less lovely than most of the county is the town of Skidmore. The population, 437, is just about the same as it was in the census of 1880. Only 2 paved streets, a few run-down storefronts that look as if they've never seen better days, and not much more. There's no great history of violence or crime in this part of Missouri. The last murder anyone remembers in Skidmore happened 60 years ago.
I like the East Coast elitist attitude as he's describing this place. Look at this fucking hick town here.
This piece of shit town.
They haven't had a murder in like 60 years, these assholes. Oh, man,
we've had 70 today in New York.
Everything's all run down and shit. Fucking Skidmore. More like Skidmark. Am I right? So, it's obviously that's kind of the town feel, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
So here's our main man right here. Yeah. This is good old Ken. He looks like he looks like kind of a unit, you know? He looks like a tough guy. Let's see what he's all about.
Every small town has a Ken McElroy, only he was worse than most. This was his home just out of town. He was 47, a big burly man. There was an air about him that frightened people, and he did nothing to alter the effect. He bought and sold hunting dogs, had an armory of guns, and always a big wad of cash. Just about everyone in these parts feared McElroy.
See, this is why I was like, is he the good guy? I mean, he raises attack dogs and has like an arsenal of guns, and he's kind of like this badass. I know. Everyone's like afraid of him.
He has some boss qualities. I understand why you were confused.
I was like, all right. And we'll see what he does.
He wasn't the kind of a man that would fight another man out in the streets. He used a gun.
Yeah, still kind of based, you know. You know, I'm not going to hold it against him. You know, he's using a gun, the great equalizer.
Wait, it gets there. It gets there. And then there's a child rape angle. Just wait for that.
That's true. That's true.
There's more to Ken Rex McElroy versus the town of Skidmore than just the story of a local bully and frightened townspeople. What it represents is a classic conflict of rights in a democratic society. The right that even the worst among us has to freely move about, and the right that a community has to be protected from the worst among us. In the case of McElroy versus Skidmore, that conflict could not be more bitter.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Could not be
Tell
more
us
bitter.
more.
No,
Morley Safer.
There's Romaine Henry's story. He's a farmer who says he was stopped on a country road by McElroy, who accused Henry of spying on him. And then...
And he said, well, you're a lying SOB. And when he said that, well, then he more or less laid the barrel of that shotgun right against my stomach and pulled the trigger. And when he did, why, of course, it laid my flesh all open and blew my flesh into this door here.
Another shot hit Henry in the face. While the gunman was reloading, Henry managed to drive away. There was a trial. 2 witnesses claimed McElroy was elsewhere at the time of the shooting, and he was found not guilty.
Okay, so the two witnesses that were buddies with McElroy, and this guy wasn't even spying. These were false accusations. He just goes up to him. He's like, "Were you spying on my property?" Shoots him in the stomach and then in the face.
I'm gonna blow your belly off.
And he did. And then he gets off. Nothing happens to him because two guys alibied him that they were just friends.
Yeah, well, it's a little crazy because you would think that if because here's something you always hear, right? When you always hear that, oh, you can't get a fair trial if you're in a small town and everyone's heard about it. You know, they always want to relocate the trial somewhere out of town or something like that for some of these murders and stuff like that. You would think that in a case like this, if everyone knows about this guy, he's kind of an asshole, even though he's got these witnesses, if it goes to a jury or a judge that's aware of this guy, they would have done something. But apparently everyone was afraid of him, like even the the judge and the jury, and I think some other people as well, members of law enforcement, as we'll see.
Yeah.
How can he get witnesses to do that?
Well, I suppose that, I don't know, but I suppose probably money had a little something to do with it.
He told me last winter when he shot the dirty son of a bitch, that was Romaine Henry, he thought he had him shot deep enough that he'd die before he got home.
He told you that?
He told me that himself just last winter. And his brother...
Why didn't you come forward?
What for? Why should I tell that when they made such a fool out of the man that they shot?
Yeah, why would he come forward?
Well, it's kind of pussy vibes, though. Really, it's like,
dude, he was gonna get his stomach blown out, and then nothing was gonna happen to Ken McElroy. I definitely would not come forward in that situation.
He looks like he could use his stomach blown out, though, a little bit. So he's definitely got that Missouri trucker hat, body type going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, everyone's afraid. People like this guy won't come forward. He's got witnesses paid off.
There was Ernest Bowenkamp. He's a man of 71 who, along with his wife Lois, operates the town grocery store. There was some bad blood between McElroy and the Bowenkamps over a piece of penny candy. One day, McElroy turned up at the loading bay behind the store where Mr. Bowenkamp was sitting, watching the world go by.
Turned around while I was looking down the double-barrel shotgun. And I thought to myself, now, is he going to shoot or is he just going to scare me? So I thought if he's going to shoot, I better dodge over. So I dodged over just in time. He got released my neck. And that's all that story, because I was out the rest of the time.
Okay, so this guy's just going around blasting people with shotguns.
What happened here is that he had a bunch of kids with a bunch of different women, and one of his hit kids, by the way, live chat, I'm from Missouri. I can talk about Missouri. Like, I understand. Everyone's like, oh, they're doing this hating on small town thing. I didn't write this. This happened in Northwest Missouri. These people are clearly hicks. One of his derelict children stole some gum or something like that from the corner store. And they were like, oh, your kid stole some gum. And then he shot this guy. That was it.
So there's like a bunch of little mini McElroys running around these days?
Oh, yeah.
How many kids did he have?
I think he had 16 to 19
Jesus.
Is what I read. Yeah. Yep.
It's always the McElroys having the kids, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So this is his woman, right?
This is his woman, and during this interview, she's 23, and he started picking her up from the middle school.
She's 23 right here?
She's 23 right there, yeah.
Wow.
When she was 12, he started getting into a relationship with her, and then he married her when she was 14 and pregnant. And it was not the first time that he did this.
Well, as the Groypers would say, it's not technically pedophilia.
Not technically. Let's watch this one, and then I'll talk a little bit about the child rape angle.
Okay, so this is his ex, well, I guess girlfriend.
I've known him all my life. Besides the 7 years I've been married with him, and he was never that way. He never caused no trouble with nobody. He was a good man.
What about the Bowenkamps?
I wasn't with him that day. I couldn't answer for that. I do know it was self-defense.
His wife, Trina, is either his third or fourth wife. They began seeing each other 10 years ago.
I like how they don't know.
I know. They're like, yeah.
It's either his third or fourth. It's hard to know with Ken.
Years ago, when she was 14. At 16, she accused him of rape.
Yes, he was charged with it, but it's not true.
You brought the charge against him.
Yes, and it's not true.
Why did you do it?
Jealousy. I was jealous over him, but it's not true. He never had to do anything like that in the first place.
Oh.
Okay, so I know, right? Her family convinced her to file statutory rape charges because he was having sex with her when she was 12. And when she was 16, she did that. And then after he was murdered, because they were still married when this happened, and she was something of a menace herself, she was like, no, he never had to rape me because he had so many options. Anyway, this is from Fox News or something from back in the day. McElroy raped 12-year-old girl, and to avoid statutory rape charges, he divorced his wife at the time and married her when she was 14 and pregnant with their baby. He burned down, this is Trina's home, her family's home, shot her family's dog to force her parents to agree to the marriage. He torched the home and shot the dog again after Trina went into hiding with her and McElroy's baby.
Wait, he
So
shot
he burned
the
down their
dog?
home twice. He shot the dog. Both dogs. Yeah, 2 dogs.
Okay, I'm kind of souring on him a little bit.
The child rape didn't do that for you. But
well,
she's saying she brought the rape charges, but it was statutory rape. So I think other people can bring those charges.
Gotcha. So he's on his third or fourth wife, who he's been having a relationship with since she was 12. How many kids does he have with her?
I think 4.
4. He's got 4 kids. He's got 15 possibly others running around, running amok somewhere.
Yep.
He is shooting the bellies off of guys. He's shooting dogs. He's burning houses down. Yeah, not a good guy. Not a great guy. And for some reason, they just can't get him locked up.
Apart from that rape charge, McElroy had perhaps 24 other felony charges in this and neighboring counties over the years. Assault with a deadly weapon, molesting a minor, cattle rustling, hog rustling, burglary, theft, and on and on.
Well, what's the molesting a minor thing? Is he also going around diddling kids, or?
Well, he had engaged in sexual conduct with multiple girls under 14. This wasn't the first time. I think his previous wife was in that age range when things started. Like most of his wives, he started getting to them when they were 12 to 14. Around that age.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He was only found guilty once. The lawyer who got him out of most of his scrapes with the law was Richard McFadden of Kansas City.
Ken Rex McElroy was a perfect gentleman. He was a good client.
He sure needed a lawyer an awful lot.
Yes, and I asked him about that, and he said, well, it's a set of circumstances. He says, they're trying to get me, they're harassing me. I didn't do it.
But he did have a reputation for violence. He was known as the Jesse James of Northwest Missouri.
I have heard him called the Jesse James of the northwest part of Missouri. That is correct.
Well, he wasn't. So he might not have been the perfect gentleman that you just said he was.
I say only in his relationship with me. He was a fearless type person. In other words, anybody say, you can't go here, and if it's his right to go, and it wasn't a judge or somebody telling him he couldn't do it, he would go if he wanted to go.
But he was more than that. He was more than just fearless. He was harassing people.
And you know something? I have never been able to verify these allegations that he was harassing anybody.
He didn't do nothing.
I know. What a slimy fuck. This lawyer's not Jewish, though.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when they're like, oh, it's a Mick something. I forget the last name, but
McFadden or something like that.
McFadden, yeah.
I've
never been able to verify any of these claims. He's just, when a judge says he can't shoot the bellies off of motherfuckers, he just does it anyway. He's just a wild man. So these are the townsfolk. A lot of calories in this town, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
This guy on the left is the preacher, the town preacher. And I think that's his wife, maybe
no, she is the family of the shopkeeper that got shot.
They got blasted? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes and interviews the townsfolk. They're like, what do you think about Ken McElroy?
The local preacher, Tim Warren, would disagree. He's a friend of Bowenkamp, and just before McElroy's trial for the shooting of Ernest Bowenkamp, Warren says McElroy and Trina turned up at Warren's church armed with a machine gun.
I noticed that he and Trina were out of the truck, and he had the machine gun out and in his hand, and I had a gun with me. I didn't want to use it, but if the man would have put a clip in that gun, I would have used it to protect my family.
So you got the preacher wanting to shoot you. You know, probably not the best guy, bringing the machine gun into play.
Church.
Little uncalled for.
Just before your husband's trial for the Bowenkamp shooting, he turned up in town, convoy of trucks. Any one of those trucks was a submachine gun.
No.
What kind of weapons did you have?
We had shotguns and 22s and 410s, stuff like that.
But definitely no
That's
machine
a lot
guns.
of guns.
Definitely not machine guns. It's not like a lot of guns.
What were they doing there? They were clearly there to intimidate the people.
Well, yeah, it's not like they were. Yeah, I mean, it's still not a lot of guns. Not a lot of guns. If that's a lot of guns, I got a lot of guns. You know. So
Yeah, us too.
The only real law enforcement is 12 miles away, and by the time the sheriff could get a car to Skidmore, McElroy would be gone. Most people felt that the legal system allowed McElroy to get away with what amounted to a reign of terror.
You say the system allowed him to harass the town. Mr. McElroy was working within that system.
It may not be the letter of the law, but the spirit of our law is that one is protected from men like McElroy.
All right. You had the sheriff's department. You had the state highway patrol. You had, at one time, you did have a marshal in Skidmore, Missouri.
Why don't you have a marshal?
The marshal resigned.
Why did he resign?
And I do not know why he resigned.
You know darn well why he resigned. He resigned. We are told, and I think you have been told
right.
as well, he resigned because Kenrex McElroy put a gun in his pad.
Up at the bar one night, he caught me coming outside and pulled a gun out and was holding it there, and he asked me if I was going to testify against him. I told him I'd have to go over because I was a marshal.
David Dunbar was marshal, but for only 6 months. He was to be a witness in the Bowenkamp shooting. After this encounter with McElroy, he quit the job and went into business wiring up houses for cable TV.
He's like, fuck this. Like, no way.
he's the marshal for 6 months, and then there's like cable guy. like I can't. That's. See, a lot of this is cowardice, but I don't know. Here's. Well, I don't want to ruin the end, but like, I feel like this, in some ways, this is white behavior, where it's not necessarily cowardice, but it borders on. It's like a border between tolerance, cowardice, and just wanting things to just work themselves out, right? Like I feel like that's something that plagues a lot of people, where no one wants to be. They don't want to upset the apple cart. They don't want to rock the boat. They want to just, everything's okay. So he comes into town and blows off someone's belly every once in a while, So he tried to shoot some guy in the face over a piece of candy. It spices things up a little bit. Where else am I going to buy my hunting dogs, right? Like,
they let it go on for way too long.
Right. And so I think some of this, it's kind of, a metaphor for, I think, how whites are generally, where they just kind of let things go. They let it get really bad. They let it get really, really bad. In fact, I did that video years ago on Office Space. It's kind of like the same thing, right? Where the white people just go and they just take abuse, and they take abuse, and they take abuse, and they take abuse until...
He said that he would believe in killing a man that wanted to put him in the pen for the rest of his life.
Were you frightened of him that night?
Yeah, I sure was. Anytime you're looking at a gun, you don't know if he's going to shoot you or what he's even thinking. He may have just been trying to scare me. But he did the job.
But every time I tried a case, there were all kinds of witnesses. I never could see anybody that was intimidated. And the jury, 12 people, decided he was not guilty. That's our system.
Well, that's how intimidation works, is you never see people who've been intimidated.
I never had any evidence of any intimidation. I had one man that said he shot me in the stomach. Here's a man.
listen, I'm not doubting your talents as a great defense lawyer.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to give that impression.
Ew. God. What a slimy bastard. Look at his face.
Oh, yeah. He knows what he's doing. I fucking hate lawyers so much. So very, very much.
A year after shooting Grocer Bowenkamp, McElroy finally comes to trial. He is charged with first-degree assault with a deadly weapon and faces a minimum of 10 years in prison and possibly up to life imprisonment. But the charge is reduced, and he's given only 2 years. That experienced country lawyer, Richard McFadden, was proud of his defense and happily says that McElroy would probably serve only 6 or 7 months.
What are the odds that she knows how to read, by the way? You know, like when
low, pretty low. She's like
he's not like giving legal advice so much. He's just reading out loud a letter that her friend sent her. You know,
months. His adversary was prosecutor David Baird. Only 3 years out of law school, just months as prosecutor.
Once they did that, we went to...
Doesn't this guy look like the nerd from 80s movies? There's an actor like from... He looks like the guy in Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog Day, yeah. Who's also in Silicon Valley. He looks just like him.
Yeah, where like every time he gets the water splash or the insurance salesman, that he looks exactly like that guy. This guy's Jewish though, I think, isn't he?
Actor.
Let me see the name.
I don't think he is.
6 or 7 months. His adversary was prosecutor David Baird.
It could be David something. Baird?
Did you say Baird?
It sounds.
What is that actor's name? I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, find it all.
Ned Ryerson.
Yeah, Ned Ryerson. Let me pop that up. He looks exactly like him.
He looks so much like him. Stephen Tobolowsky. Phil? Ned?
Tobolowsky. All these pictures of him old. Where is he? Where is he in the 80s? Groundhog's Day. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There it is.
Hold on. I'll bring this up here. Okay. This looks exactly like him. Right?
He totally. Yeah.
That's that's him. That's exactly him. All right.
That's him.
Let's go.
Only 3 years out of law school, just months as prosecutor.
Once they did that, we went to trial. We received a felony conviction on the individual, and we had an order that he would go to the state penitentiary.
Hold on a minute.
Okay.
2 years.
2 years.
Which might have been, by the time he actually went to jail, 6 months?
6 months, 8 months, someplace along in there. But that's not something we have any control over. That's something the jury says.
Skidmore was outraged by what the town regarded as a slap on the wrist for such a brutal attack. And then further outraged when McElroy was freed on appeal after posting a $40,000 bond.
Well, it makes you wonder, like, were the judges in on this? I feel like every time I get that he's intimidating the law enforcement. He's intimidating jurors, probably. He's intimidating the people. Is he intimidating the judges too, or is he paying them off? I mean, he's got 40.
A combination
40
of
grand.
both. He just has 40 grand. Apparently, he was pretty wealthy.
Oh, and this is 1970s 40 grand, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
That's like 40 million today.
Yeah,
or something like that. It's a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't find much evidence on whether or not he was intimidating judges, but I'm pretty sure he was paying them off.
Skidmore felt once again that McElroy had beaten the system. Then one day, along comes McElroy into the D&G Tavern, followed by Trina, who's carrying a carbine and a bayonet. Allegedly, McElroy picks up both and...
As you often do, right? Let's go to the bar, honey. Make sure you grab the AR-15
and your bayonet, yeah.
And the Mac 11 or whatever. Although I will say... you live in a good part of the country when they have to put signs. Is it like this in Idaho? where you go into just like a normal, like a grocery store or something like that, they have to have signs that say "Don't bring your guns in." Do they?
I don't know.
Those?
There's a restaurant around here where you get a discount if you're open carrying.
Oh, really? So around here, I mean, it's just, you can tell they just printed them up, in the office in the back. But outside, like the bars, it's not every building, but it's enough to let you know that there's obviously people walking around with guns everywhere because they have to put these signs up. And it's like, please don't bring your guns in here. And I don't know. I used to think that was base, but now that you're talking about people open carrying inside of a bar, it's no big deal. Now I feel like we're kind of losers out here.
Yeah, big losers. No, I mean, everybody just assumes that you're carrying around here. I mean, you can't go into a government building, but that's pretty much it.
The good old days.
He starts showing off and boasting that he's going to finish off Mr. Bowenkamp.
I wonder, Missouri's probably still like that, though, because I got family in rural Missouri.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's probably still kind of like that there, or at least in the rural parts.
Yeah. Finish off Mr. Bowenkamp. Now, if that happened, it was a clear violation of his bond arrangement, and a number of citizens signed a complaint to that effect. A hearing is called to see if his bond should be revoked. It is scheduled for July 10th, 1981. The town also calls a meeting for July 10th at the American Legion Hall to form a group to attend the bond revocation hearing. But word comes that the hearing's been postponed for 10 days. They discuss how to protect the people who signed the complaint against McElroy.
And
Someone announces McElroy's in town.
He was able to forcefully postpone the bond hearing. McElroy was, through a series of threats. So this is what really pissed off the town, because they had already signed this agreement about what they were going to do. And they're like, oh, well, now all of us are going to get murdered because our names are on paper about this bond hearing. So this is when they really start to get worried.
Okay, so they're trying to get him busted because he's walking around with guns, which is, I guess, a violation of his parole or his whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And so now they're like, oh, great, now he's got a hit list. And so they all meet
all of our names
at the American Legion.
Yep.
And they're like, what are we going to do about this fucker? While he's with his girlfriend and an automatic weapon at the bar.
Town, drinking at the D&G bar. Most of the people walk over to the bar.
We left the D&G and went to our pickup.
Look at that fancy bar.
The only bar in town, the D&G.
The D&G. What do you think the D&G stands for?
Who knows?
Oh,
what do you think?
Come up with something funny. I got nothing. I don't know. I got nothing.
And as soon as we walked out the door, everybody else walked out the door behind us. And they gathered around on my side over here, on my passenger side of the truck. He hadn't started the pickup yet. We were just sitting there. I looked at them to see what they was looking at, see if they wanted anything, and they were just staring.
So, I happen to have, if you'd like to see it, a dramatization of this. Would you like to see that, or do you want to continue with this? Okay.
Let's watch it. Let's do it.
So there is a reenactment of this
with like every 80s actor.
Oh yeah. So let me see if I can. Where did I put that? So here they are at the American Legion. Let me blow this up. They're hanging out at the American Legion, and they're like, "We gotta do something about this McElroy. He's over at the D&G." And this music starts playing in the background. The cop leaves.
Where the hell is the sheriff going?
Someplace else, looks like.
That's right. He's going.
That's true. The
someplace
sheriff
else.
got out of town.
So that's supposed to be the blonde chick, his wife, and that's McElroy. See, this is the part. This is the white behavior when the patience is over. When you finally had enough of the abuse.
Why don't you get out of town and stay out?
And don't come back.
Yeah.
Let's see to it.
Pretty sweet truck, though.
Man, let's get the hell out of here, okay? Okay?
Jan McElroy don't run from no one.
For God's sake.
Fucking base! Yeah, so literally the whole town killed him. They just kept on shooting.
So that is exactly how it happened. And they pulled Trina out of the car so that she wouldn't be injured, which was a calculated decision that they had made at the Legion Hall before they decided to do this. There was a group of 60 people, probably. I've heard estimates between 12 and 90. And there's evidence that there were 3 to 5 shooters.
So yeah, so basically the white cup boiled over. You know, the whole it's like the whole school shooter thing that happens. You know, you just can't. You poke at them and poke at them and poke at them. The next thing you know, they show up to school with a couple Molotov cocktails and an AR-15. So this is that's what they did. Is the whole town blasted him. Oh, we'll get. Here we go.
To form a group to attend the
Where did that part?
high noon in Skidmore, Missouri on a hot, dusty day last July. There is a tension, a sense of showdown in the air.
I seen the man go across the street, go to his pickup, take the gun out, and I seen him shoot it.
A number of shots were fired. Exactly how many can't be determined. 15 minutes later, sheriff's deputies arrived to find the street empty and Ken Rex McElroy dead.
Pretty based. I like how they just all
Yeah.
left. They just
They're like, see
blasted
ya,
them.
good job, good work, everyone. Go
Everyone
eat
go
supper.
home.
Yep.
There may have been as many as a dozen people outside the D&G and around McElroy's pickup at the time of the shooting. Or there may have been as many as 50 or 60 people. And yet not a single person admits to seeing who fired the shots. No witnesses.
See, that's the other based part. It's and it
one
also
talked.
kind of tells you like how much of a shitbag that guy was.
Yeah.
Is it like not even one person was like felt like any kind of crisis of conscience where they're like, oh, not like this. No, we have to do things the legal way. And no one had that sense of of guilt at all. In fact,
Right.
so this is the preacher. You'd think that if anyone would have an issue with how this was carried out, it would be the preacher.
How come no witnesses?
Everybody died for cover?
At least 5 shots fired.
Depends who you talk to.
He's laughing. Yeah, 5 shots. Yeah, more like 5 times 5.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that there are no witnesses?
No.
Tim.
They all look very pleased with themselves.
They
too.
do, yeah. It's like little smirks.
They're just like, yep, we done killed him. Yeah, had to happen.
Warren, Lois and Ernest Bowenkamp, and Romaine Henry. None of them were present at the shooting, and no one who was there, including the mayor of Skidmore, would talk to us. A grand jury was convened and came up with no indictment. A person or persons unknown killed the man. Tell me something. Are you glad he's gone?
I would say we're all resting a lot better now, knowing that the man is not here.
Very diplomatic of you, Betty.
I know, the preacher's actually less diplomatic.
Yeah. It's good to see. It's good to see.
If they catch somebody, and he's tried, and he's found guilty, would you feel that justice has been done?
No, because it was a whole town.
A whole town. Well, isn't that justice, though?
Yeah.
See, this goes back to like the vigilante justice stuff that really I think is what made the world go round. This is something that I am actually concerned about more than like for example, you look at the 1984 surveillance state that they have over in England, where they have the CCTV shit all over the place, and that used to be something we didn't have to worry about quite as much in America. But now with all these Ring cameras and with everyone with a camera on their phone and with, just the license plate cameras and everything else, not that I want criminals to get away. And that's how they try to sell it to you, right? When they show you like, hey, look at these license plate cameras that we have at the side of the road. Now when there's an Amber Alert or whatever, now we know where they are and we can always catch the criminals. And that's, okay, that's good, I guess. But the problem is sometimes there needs to be extrajudicial justice. Like there needs to be vigilante justice. And in fact, all Americans kind of would agree with that. If you look at, especially during this time period, all the popular TV shows, to one degree or another, what the focus was on vigilante justice, whether you're talking like the A-Team, which was literally a bunch of criminals running from the federal authorities going and doing vigilante justice, or even just run-of-the-mill action movies where, Rambo, same thing, right? Rambo's this guy who is wanted by the law, and he's killing cops. Like he's a vigilante to the extreme. And you have all of these action heroes and all of these people that were I guess masculine characters in film and television. They all had at least some hint of this, and this is something that really is I think necessary for our society to run smoothly.
Well, yeah, it's of course it's a deterrent to the people in the community from acting like this. And now that there's so much law enforcement and they're not enacting justice equally, then all of these cameras and everything and all this documentation that you're talking about, they're just using it to prevent us from defending ourselves. So we've really, hoisted ourselves on our own petard with this. But this was a better time. I mean, I don't think that McElroy thought that the town had it in them.
Right. But that's always the case, right? Like if you look at these the people that act up on the subway, like the black guy that got choked out, right? The reason why that's not happening more is precisely because people have cameras, and all it's going to take is some guy with their phone shooting you, doing the vigilante justice. That really is what needs to happen, and that's how much it's changed, right? Like because it's, and look, diversity has a lot to do with that too. Because if it was a subway full of basically the people that live in this town, and you had some crazy black guy, urine stained psycho going around harassing people, and some guy choked him out, they would have said, "I didn't see nothing," and they would have, that would be it. There would just be some dead guy on the floor of that train car, and that's really what we've lost. And they've been attacking this for decades. It started with think about all the different times, even in elementary school, where one of the big stains on American history was like the lynchings, right? They would always talk about how horrible the lynchings were because, all these innocent people were always getting killed. And it's like, no, probably not actually.
I got one of those teed up from Skidmore right after this.
We'll take a look at that in a second. But yeah, that's really frustrating is we've already lost that to a big degree, partially because we don't have these close-knit communities where people, I mean, like I just said a moment ago, there's possibly 60 witnesses to this murder, and not a single one of them, for any reason was like, oh yeah, well, we should do this the right way or whatever. No, like everyone was just like they were okay with the outcome because that's what solved the problem. And that's what we've lost. We've lost that because of the demographic change. We've lost that because even if you live in a white area, most people don't know their neighbors anymore because there isn't like a sense of community. Our society is so mobile. I mean, I've moved across the country several times chasing jobs, and that's completely normal. And every time you start all over again, you're not like in the same neighborhood that you grew up in. You're not working side by side with some guy that you were in third grade with, And so all those communal ties have been cut. And then you have the surveillance state where you've got, unfortunately, the same kind of diversity those are the people who are doing the policing. Mm-hmm. And so and then take it even a step further. Then if you get arrested and you go to court, who's on that jury? Is that really a jury of your peers? If you get arrested, like Kyle Rittenhouse as an example, right? You could say that was a justified case of vigilante justice, or actually not even that. That was just self-defense. Vigilante justice would have been him going around just blasting them, like for causing the riot. But if you had a case like that where you had some guy just go around shooting looters or something like that, doing really, quite frankly, what the law enforcement should be doing. Or that guy that chased those people that stole his car a few months back, right? Those black kids stole his car.
Yeah, right.
He chased him down, shot him, and now he's going to jail for like 40 years or something like that. If you get caught by the police and then you have to go to trial, the people in the jury booth, they have nothing in common with you. You're not being judged by people that have the same values as you do. You're not being judged by people that have the same priorities or objectives. And in many cases, you're probably being judged by people who hate you because you're white. I mean, so this is what we've lost, guys. We've lost this ability to take care of problems like the Roy McElroy or the Ken McElroys of the world.
And that's why this story is so heartwarming, because everybody got together and they decided that they had to protect the town. And it's not like it was a nice town, but it was their town. And they really felt like this is what needs to be done. And that's why they've been tight-lipped about it for 40 years. They've tried to bring this case back up numerous times, and nobody has ever said a word.
I bet like some Jewish group has thrown money at it,
Yeah.
like the opposite of the Innocence Project, where they're like, let's try to hunt down them hillbillies.
Yeah, really.
You take McFadden, you take the lawyer, and you take the courts. It wasn't the town that killed McElroy. It was them. That's the way I feel.
For not locking him up.
Well, yes.
What they did was worse than anything they could say about him. They went outside that system of justice, and they took the law in their own hands, in my opinion. And they decided they were going to get rid of him.
But he tried to murder multiple people, and he was using extrajudicial means to get out of trouble all the time. This slimy ass lawyer.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too is, while simultaneously kneecapping the public's ability to use vigilante justice to defend themselves, that they are increasing the ability for criminals to use vigilante justice to get what they want. So it's a double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know who did it?
No.
Would you turn in the person who did it if you had absolute proof they did it?
No, absolutely not.
Would you, preacher?
No, I wouldn't.
Doesn't that bother your conscience a bit?
No, because there's a verse in the Old Testament that says, "Whosoever sheddeth man's blood by man, so shall his blood be shed."
The murder of Ken Rex McElroy remains unsolved. In theory, the investigation continues, but as far as we can determine, there is very little hope of a break in the case. Trina McElroy, they say, has offered a $10,000 reward, but so far, no takers. Through lawyer McFadden, she's signed a movie deal, of course.
What a surprise.
That was the movie we watched.
Was it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was. And
for
I don't know. I don't think she got that much money though, because this is the production company. Look at this fancy intro here. It's like you can't get more 80s than this. As you said though, like every actor is like every 80s actor's in it. Oh, look at that! Everyone knows Mallow film.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I part of me wants to feel some sympathy for her because she was, groomed from when she was 12.
Right.
But like some of the Epstein victims that procured the girls, at a certain point you become the perpetrator. Like at a certain age, you become the perpetrator too, and you need to extricate yourself from the situation and be like, what was done to me was wrong, but you can't continue to do the crime. And she stood by him after his death. She profited off it. I think she made like, I don't know, 20 grand or something in a civil suit. And to this day, well, actually she died in her 50s, but to the day that she died, she stood by him.
She died, live fast, die young, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So you had another case lined up here.
I did, because I really wanted to highlight that there's a history of vigilante justice in the region. Now, this is a town, Maryville, which is, it's about 10-15 miles away from Skidmore. It's like the bigger town. I think it was population 5,000. We don't have to watch this whole thing because I think the clip is like 5 minutes long. But this beautiful young school teacher who went to the school where she ended up teaching, she was teaching in a one-room schoolhouse, gets brutally raped and murdered by a black guy.
Of course.
And then a lynching ensues. I don't know. Let's watch a little bit of this. And then we can talk about how this guy totally did it.
Velma Coulter, the beautiful young teacher at the one-room Garrett schoolhouse, was cherished by the town that raised her. A lifelong resident of Maryville, Velma loved learning from an early age. After finishing college, she happily accepted a teaching position at her old elementary school. But on December 16, 1931, when she didn't return by 6 p.m., her caretaker went looking for her. Inside the darkened school, he discovered a horrifying scene. Velma lay lifeless, showing clear signs of a violent struggle. She had been beaten, and her clothes were torn off her body. Bloodhounds searched the area, but turned up nothing.
Can you go to the next clip? It's 22 or 23.
You want this all the way to this part? Because that's
actually
after,
no.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
Sorry,
that far.
buddy. Oh, did I just see an N bomb? There he
Is there?
is. There we go. That's good.
We'll go to here. Well, let's get to the part where they find out. All right, so she's so they find her, and then what is this part?
In frozen mud, where he saw the man.
Well, hold on.
It was the shoe print.
Now I'm confused. You messed
I
us
fucked
all
everything up. I'm sorry.
All right.
Came from a nearby teenage farmhand. He had noticed a man lurking around the school for a couple
black
of hours
man.
during the afternoon. Near the school, investigators found a shoe print in frozen mud, where he saw the man. They took a wax impression, matched a shoe worn by a man named Raymond Gunn, a local black man already known to law enforcement.
Oh, there we go. Case closed. Black.
Yeah.
Footprint.
Gunn's background was troubled. He had served 4 years in prison for an attempted rape of a white college student in...
But what black guy hasn't, you know?
Yeah, and also the attempted rape before was also of a school teacher.
Of course.
In 1925. Now he was the prime suspect in Velma's murder. Word of Gunn's...
And he confessed, apparently.
And he confessed, yeah.
Okay. But let me guess, this video is trying to say he's innocent, so, okay.
Oh, yeah. It's called the murder of innocent man.
Okay, so he's already raped a school teacher. His footprint's there, and he confessed. Okay.
Confession spread rapidly. Rumors of a lynch mob took hold. In an attempt to prevent violence, Gunn was secretly moved to nearby St.
So, by the way, this is always the case, because I've covered a couple of these lynchings in the past. It's always like every time you go back and look at the original reporting, you get the old newspaper archives. It's always an obviously, because that's the only thing that stirs up the anger in the public enough. It's always an obviously he did it kind of a situation.
Oh yeah,
and it's usually not even just like an obviously he did it. It's an obviously he did it again, kind of like with Ken McElroy, and kind of like with this guy. Right? Yeah. And kind of like all these other cases that we've covered. It's like he's done it again. The cops aren't doing the job, just like in the case of Ken McElroy, right? Because that's usually the case is law enforcement isn't doing their job. The people are suffering the consequences. And they finally get so fed up that they're willing to lay it all on the line. Because, look, it's not like that came without any risk to go try to lynch someone. I mean, you never knew how that was going to turn out. And yet you get enough guys in town who have a lot to lose who decide, you know what, fuck it. You know, we're going to go and take this guy out. And they do it. And that's been the story every single lynching. And I mean every single lynching that I've ever covered. That has been the backstory. It's
exactly,
been some black guy or a team of black guys or, you know, several black guys who have been committing crimes and terrorizing a town. And the town finally gets fed up and lynches
St. Joseph. Even there, a crowd of about 600 people gathered, demanding he be handed over. The sheriff in St. Joseph refused, stationing police and firefighters to guard the jail.
See, and that's the other thing.
Come on.
That always happens too. Like I covered a couple lynchings where that's usually how it starts, right? They're so pissed off that the cops aren't doing their job. The cops finally get the guy, and then the town's just like, just come on, just
give us the guy.
Hand him over. We'll take care of this. You guys are in over your heads, obviously.
Yeah, and that
then
is one thing
that happened
in Skidmore. Yeah, in Skidmore, they sent the sheriff out of the town. They were like, get out of here. We're going to kill this guy.
Yeah,
and the sheriff was like, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
Jail. Twice, mobs tried to seize Gunn, but they failed for lack of a plan and leadership. He was transferred to Kansas City.
Negro Slayer.
Meanwhile,
well, it's too bad. That sounds like cool until you know it. They don't mean that he's a Negro Slayer. He's a Negro Slayer. You know, because at first you see that and you're like, Negro Slayer to Kansas City. You're like, all right, let's go to Kansas City, hang out with Negro Slayer. And you're like, oh, wait,
never mind.
He's a Negro Slayer.
Well, the press fed the public outrage. In the month after Velma's death, her name appeared in newspapers nearly 4,000 times, more often than Babe Ruth or Franklin Roosevelt.
Oh, no.
Sensational and biased stories stoked anger
and that's
at
the thing,
Gunn.
too. They always get mad, like they act as if the fact that it got media coverage See, and maybe that's really the key, right? Maybe that's one of the reasons why we stopped having vigilante justice, was because the media got taken over by Jews who stopped reporting on the race of the perpetrators.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because,
I mean, just the fact that this was such an outrageous crime and it was widely reported on is not evidence of innocence. That's so retarded.
Right. No, it's evidence that people were like fucking pissed off and fed up with this stuff.
One newspaper alleged. For after clubbing the young woman...
Well, hold on. I like how the newspaper reporting that he raped a woman is also evidence that he's innocent.
Yeah.
It says here, Negroes around Maryville shake their heads on Gunn. The fact that he had been previously convicted and done time on a charge of attempted rape played against him all the way through, and the crime, which this must be a black newspaper. No, seriously.
What are you saying? Yeah.
You read these old black newspapers and it's like, it's written like black people talk. It's kind of funny. Attempted rape, blah, 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 through crime, which he expiated. I don't know what that is.
His miserable life was so revolting as to cause every Negro to hang his head in shame. You're totally right. For after clubbing the young woman into insensibility, conditions of her person revealed that only by the resort to the use of a knife was he able to satisfy his brutish passion.
Clearly, that's evidence that he's not guilty.
Yeah, really.
Because the newspaper accurately reported it.
Brutish passion. Gunn's arraignment was scheduled for January 12th in Maryville. Anticipating violence, Governor Henry S. Caulfield sent 60 National Guardsmen to back up local authorities. Yet tension
I bet he didn't send 60 men to like stop the Negro rape that was going on.
Yeah.
High. Hotels were fully booked, and strangers roamed Maryville's streets. Strikingly, Maryville, a town of about 5,000, had long claimed good race relations. For over 20 years, local white residents organized an annual emancipation celebration for black citizens.
Gay.
But all that goodwill disintegrated under the looming threat of mob violence. Prominent black leaders, including Dr. Crossland and Rev. Gordon, telegraphed Governor Caulfield, begged the governor for more.
Yeah, okay, we get yours. That's evidence. What is this?
Whichever the case, the National Guardsmen waited idly at the armory, never called upon. Gunn was stripped of his clothes and forced to march 2.5 miles to the Garrett School. Facing a frenzied crowd, he was made to climb a ladder to the roof, where he was chained to the rafters. Some claim he confessed, though such confessions were often forced under extreme duress.
Wait, they made a mistake here. What they actually did is this is the schoolhouse where she was murdered, by the way, but they cut a hole in the top and then jammed his body halfway down and then chained him, and then they light it on fire. Isn't that awesome?
That's a little... Wait, hold on. They burnt... Why would they burn down the school? It's a perfectly good school.
She got murdered in there.
I guess you don't want to go to murder school.
No! No, you don't, Devin.
I guess that's true. You really can't have Negro murder school. You know, it is kind of tainted. It's kind of unhallowed ground at that point. All right, I guess. I see it. I understand that. That's pretty artistic, though. You know, people say that
beautiful. It's
they don't have any imagination.
Elegant.
Like, I'd like to know how long that took. Is he just sitting there while they're like sawing a hole in the roof, going like, "What are they doing?"
I think so. They might have been ready for him. Isn't that the most elegant lynching strategy you've ever heard?
Wait, did they pre-cut the hole?
Maybe.
They're all right. Hey, Bob, cut the hole in the roof. I got this idea. Like, who had that idea, by the way? I got this idea. We cut a hole in the roof, right? And then we get the Negro Slayer. And we stick him in the roof.
Really.
Why do we stick him in the roof? No, hold on. Wait for it. So he's in the roof, like kind of in the roof. You know, like a wick on a candle, you know, kind of on the top.
Yeah.
And then we light the building on fire. See, I didn't get where you were going with this till the light the building on fire part.
Yeah.
But now I understand. And see, that is pretty artistic.
Oh wait, I'm just seeing it now in my mind's eye that they lit it from the bottom. I was thinking that they like burned his head like a candle. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
There it is.
No.
Thanks,
So
Bob.
wait,
Thanks.
but here's the other: is his top half like sticking out of the is his head sticking out of the
His
top?
head
of the...
sticking out, right? They wouldn't light his head on fire. That wouldn't work at all.
Well, I was just wondering, like, if his feet were sticking out, like he had fallen out of the sky and landed like a cartoon.
I don't think they did that.
And like hit the roof, and so you'd see his like feet kicking around, or is it just like his head sticking out, like he is the house, or the building?
Yeah, like he's stuck in quicksand. He's like, ah.
Yeah, it would have been, what would have been more artistic. See, if I was there, I would have been like, all right, I like this idea, Bob. I like his head sticking out of the school, but we should also make these big paper mache black arms that stick out of either side, so it looks like he is the schoolhouse.
The whole house. I love it.
Right. It'll be awesome. And then we can rig it up to where like we can pull these ropes so like his arms like go on fire, as it burns.
Why are our videos not up? I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Okay.
Well, I can pop it up. All right. In fact, I have to. So it's going to play the intro for a second because I screwed up. But get ready for it.
Watching Outlaws.
That's right. That's what you're watching.
With Rebecca Hargraves.
Outlaws.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah, but now, that would be nice, right? To have like the. See, that if I was there, it would have been. I think it would have been more fun.
I know you should face dogs. JK, don't do that. But this guy absolutely did it. And while he was in custody, he was like, "It was this other nigga." He just like blamed some other black guy who was alibied by a bunch of white people. So it definitely wasn't him. And then they had the footprint match, and they had an eyewitness account because he had been hanging around the building for days. I mean, that's about as good as it gets in 1925? Yeah.
You tell me.
No, he got released in 1928, so early 30s. That's when this was. But I mean, from back in the day, that's a lot of evidence. It was very obvious that he did it. And he had a history of attempted rape on a white young teacher. So, the town was like, come on, is this guy going to get off? And then they took matters into their own hands and they did what needed doing.
Well, and that's what you can accomplish when everyone doesn't have a camera in their pocket.
Yeah.
Although I kind of wish they had, now that I know about the head sticking out of the building thing. I feel like that would have been a funny video to watch.
I know. When you wake up, you get on Twitter and you just see this amazing lynching. You're like, oh, finally, I don't have to watch videos of Iran. I hope these were feel-good stories for everybody because they made me feel good. They made me feel like America at some point really meant something. And that's something that I've lost, Like, I know you talk a lot about how America was never that awesome. At least not in the 50s. And I think you're right about that. But there was a time where people handled their business. And I want to get back to that.
Well, honestly, what it is, it's regional. And I feel like the further away you get from the central government, the more you see this kind of stuff going on. Right. Yeah. Like, I feel like, that's why in the Old West, there was Old West justice was very similar. You steal a horse, they string you up. It's not like some long drawn out process. It's like you do the crime, you do the time the next day. I mean, there's a couple of if you ever go travel around the Southwest and check out like the old ghost towns, go to like Yuma and stuff like that. Like I went to this one town where they had this big tree, and I forget what they called it, but it was the tree they used to chain people to that were problems. And so it was just like, it was like the chain tree. I don't know what it's called, but like they didn't have a jail. So they would just chain you up to this tree. And that was just how the town would deal with you. And there was no process. It was just like, all right, chain them to the tree.
Yep. See what we could accomplish when Jewish judges and attorneys and just the Jewish bureaucracy is not lording over all of us.
Yeah. One of these days, we can return to that.
Well, the McElroy story is uplifting because that town really took a lot. They took a lot until they were like, we're not doing this anymore. And I think that it's symbolic of white people in general. When they really feel like there are no other options, then they get organized and they figure it out, and then everybody shuts their mouth. Like
The next
it's
thing you
in
know,
us.
there's a black guy with his head sticking out of the top of a schoolhouse that's on fire. I mean, seriously, that is kind of how it works. I guess if there's a white pill in all this, it's that, especially in the case of the McElroy case. I mean, they put up with a lot before they snapped, and I kind of feel like it's a blessing and a curse. That is kind of like the white person way, where you put up with a lot, but it's good to know that there is a breaking point. You know, there is a point in which people are like, no, we're just gonna shoot him in his truck. How about that?
Yeah,
that'll fix it.
Yeah. And the way they did it, it was gentlemanly. They pulled her out of the car. They make sure that she didn't get accidentally shot, although she probably had deserved it at that point. But they were like, we're going to get the person that's perpetrating these crimes. We're not going to have any other casualties. This is going to be cut and dry. And then they did it. And, you know, it's really admirable. It was very sensible. They really dealt with it like upstanding white people.
Very inspirational, as I said
It
at the
is.
end of the stream. Very
So
inspirational.
inspirational.
So what I got to do...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, what I got to do, because now I'm realizing the other graphic here, it is kind of lame that we're not on there. You know, that it's just like this screen. So I got to pop you in the corner and me in the corner of this graphic here. So it's not just they're hearing our voices or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because you went through all the trouble of like putting your makeup on and stuff, and then you're like not on camera for most of the time. So
yeah, which Devon actually saw today when we were working some things out with the audio. He's got to see the sausage get made. The other thing I'm seeing in the live chat, like, oh, is this just blonde commenting on the insomnia stream? You know, developing this show is going to take some time. I need everybody to be a little bit patient. We're not going to talk about crimes like this every week. It's not going to be exclusive to vigilante justice. But in those first few episodes, we really want to get the tone and the
Rebecca
message
picked
hammered down.
The topic and did all the research. I didn't do, you know, I didn't do any of this. So it's not like I came up with the idea and she's just commenting on it. You know, she's
but there is a point there. Like, I am concerned about us, you know, not just being the insomnia stream. So, you know, just give us some time. These things always develop organically. And after my last show and the show before it, I just want to let things kind of come together organically. And it's going to take a few episodes, and we're going to have some tech problems and things like that. But, you know, I really want to get into some financial crimes and how people are able to keep money in their family through nepotism and how they've been able to do that, why they got caught, how not to get caught. I want to talk about that. We have a good jumping off point, but I thought this was a good first story because it's a huge white pill. So,
you know, we should talk about like how not to get caught. That's actually a good angle. Talk about how, or maybe even like ways. Well, it'd be a fine line we'd have to ride, but I think that there are some topics there, definitely.
Yeah. So let us hammer down the message of the show, the theme, and everything like that, and then we can branch out a little bit and do some more stuff that is a little bit wider in scope. So, but hang in there, guys. It'll get better every week.
Well, it can't get worse. No. Oh, I was so like, you guys don't understand. Like we had like these audio technical issues right before we went live, and I was like, oh fuck. I hope this works. But everything works mostly smoothly. I forgot to turn off the opener, which I knew I was going to do that too. I knew I was going to do that.
Well, not streaming on YouTube's a bummer. That's
well, yeah, we got to figure out why that didn't work. That's why you were looking at those color bars for so long, as we were back here like, why is it not working?
Yeah.
So we'll get that straightened out. We'll get on YouTube.
Something always goes wrong. Like, you just have to expect the first episode. If it gets done, you should be pretty happy. So
yeah, I think, you know, for the most part, there weren't a whole lot of technical issues. I was not confident about that, but
no, it was good. It was good.
And your
I'm
video's
pleased.
been coming fine. Everything
Yeah.
looks like, and you can hear everything, which was the issue. And I think
And the graphics look great. You did
Yeah.
such a great job.
there's one tiny hiccup. Like, in fact, we're coming up on it. The background, it glitches for like a frame. And I got to figure out why I'm the only one that's going to notice that. And now everyone's going to, I probably shouldn't have said anything.
Why did you say something? No one ever would have noticed that in a million years.
There's this one little glitch where I'm like, I hate that. And so I'll make it smooth. And there's a couple other little things that probably only I'm noticing that I'm going to smooth out and fix. But yeah, I think it, for the most part, it looks cool. We got like rock star names under our TVs.
No, I love it. This is so cool. It's such an honor to be working with these incredible graphics.
Well, I thought we get, go big or go home, right? We don't want to just do some like shitty podcast where we're sitting at a table in someone's living room. You know what I mean?
I understand. I know what you're talking about, buddy. I know. It's hard to let that one go. That show was my baby, but on to better and brighter things. We are setting up some more options for donations. Our subscribe star is under review, so you can't do that right now. We're just using Devon's Odyssey, Entropy, and Rumble rants. But next week we can do super chats on my YouTube channel, PayPal / Blonde in the Belly of the Beast. Also, and we will distribute that to Devon, even though you're sending it to me. So,
all right. And so I guess we should do super chats or you want to do that or?
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess first we'll go to Entropy. We got some big donors on Entropy actually. Got some pretty good support here, guys. I appreciate that. We have Odyssey viewer, and I don't have. Maybe I should do a little. I don't know if we should make him as obnoxious as the Insomnia stream, or maybe not even do him at all. But on the Insomnia stream, I play little animations. Good. But the for donors, I have not made anything like that for this. Maybe we don't do it. Maybe we do it. I don't know. Maybe we'll hear. We'll get I'm sure we'll get feedback from in the comments and stuff like that from this. Odyssey viewer says all the best, guys, and I really appreciate that, Odyssey viewer.
Thank you.
That's really generous of you. And then we have Beach Goys. Beach Goys, who's always very generous, also very generous, and says, thank you for saving the Wednesday show, Rebecca. We all want as much stack as possible. Great show, guys. Looking forward to many more. So
I hate to glaze you, Devon, because it makes it seem like we're not peers. But you really are the only person that has
oh, you thought we were peers? That's adorable.
I should at least act like we're peers, right? I can't be fangirling all the time. I can't. It's too demeaning. But you were the only person that's withstood like the cycle of alternative media. Everybody else has been so disappointing. So please don't disappoint me, or I'm gonna have to commit harikari.
I think that I think we're on the same wavelength on a lot of things, and that's usually the issue, right? Like, it seems like you go and work for people who are like married to Jews and who are kind of Jewish themselves, like, so it's just, it's difficult. It's difficult to find, unfortunately, which is weird to say, right? It's weird that the right wing is the extreme right wing that we're apparently a part of is so not extreme so often. I saw a comment that said, which I think sums it up. It said, finally, Rebecca will be on a podcast where she's not the one, or where she's the one with the most estrogen. I guess that's the way it went.
Well, I have this problem with when I work with people thinking that these massive flaws, I'm like, it'll work itself out, or I can handle that, or I can manage this. And it really is, my own fault. But the thing with Matt, that was a problem that developed over many years. I mean, we did that podcast together for 10 years.
Yeah, we all evolve in our politics and stuff like that. I get that.
Yep.
All right, we got Kurgan 86 with a big dono. I have like this weird in my head. It starts playing even, Devon Rebecca, I can't tell how excited I am to see the two of you working together. I'll be enjoying this podcast as I chow down on a nice plate of dirt meat with a glass of, well, we're not on YouTube, so I can say it, nigger gin. Take care, you two. Faggots.
Thank you so much.
And I don't have my faggots button either because it's a different show. We'll have our own things. We'll come up with our own little things, I'm sure. Maybe we should have a McElroy button or something.
I know, right? Do you know what somebody just said in the Rumble chat?
What?
Get in the roof hole.
That's there we go. See?
It's happening.
Get in the roof hole. All right, then we got, well, thank you very much, Kurgan86. That was very, very generous. Then we got Dusty. Dusty says, thanks for the new show. Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, Dusty. And then we got Fashy88 says, if you want another story, there is a more recent story from 2021 that caused a bunch of attention in the Amish Mennonite community of a black person raping a white Amish lady. His name was Justo Smoker. Might want to, I'll tell you what, I'll send that to you. Justo Smoker. I'll send that to you in chat.
Okay.
I'll just DM that to you.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Fashy88. Then we got Fubar Nation. Fubar Nation says, great to finally catch a live show at Eastern Standard Hour. There you go. See, that's the thing, too. I know there's some people that don't like the time change because they won't be able to catch it live. But you have to understand, there are so many people that don't want to stay up till 3 a.m, believe it or not, to watch my show. But and also you got to realize too, we're worldwide, and so it's like it's like a 12-hour difference. Well, not quite 12 hours, but it's like, it's anyone that can't catch the Insomnia stream because it's like some wacky time for them, this would work out. Although there's probably people where it's both, like if you have a job, this is probably not the best time slot.
But a lot of people listen to podcasts on the job. Oh, I heard about this Amish murder. This was so bad. This guy's mystery meat. Is he black?
What, the Justo Smoker guy?
Yeah. Oh, this was an awful story. Yeah, she was raped and murdered.
We might have to look into that one. All right, then we got Reinhardt with a giganto Christmas dono. Big old Christmas dono there. Reinhardt says, as whites build our parallel society, here, there, I think the here doesn't need to be there. There will be, man, your wording screwed me all up. Reinhardt, I forgive you. As whites build our, no wait, maybe I just screwed up. As whites build our parallel society here, comma, that's what you're missing. There will come a time that we will only be able to protect them extrajudicially.
Yes.
Let this be a lesson we carry forward for generations. And that's the thing too. And I'm also wondering too, because part of me is kind of like, oh, well, the Ring camera stuff, the camera thing causes a problem. But at the same time, maybe vigilante justice just needs to evolve also. Maybe that just needs to become more sophisticated. You know?
And we can do that.
Yeah, it just means you can't just go the old-fashioned way, but like why shouldn't we also evolve? So maybe this is just a pressure on us to be more creative than just drilling a hole in the top of a schoolhouse.
Yeah. Thank you, Reinhardt. Reinhardt is so cool. I don't know if you've talked to him before.
I recognize the name. I feel like Reinhardt's been on the been to the Insomnia stream before.
Oh yeah, he's one of the few people that I know in real life.
Oh,
he's just the best. So is his wife.
Awesome. All right, now we got Gorilla Hands, also a regular, says, welcome to the Pillbox family, Rebecca. Devon, I hate to keep pestering you, but could you check entropy before Saturday night stream for some big donos? Yeah, in fact, so, I will check that out, Gorilla Hands, but, and I totally get why, if you donate and it doesn't get read, you should say something. I'm going to have a call with the entropy people soon, and let them know kind of what let them know what it's doing and what I'd like to see to have it fixed. And they actually sound pretty open to making a change. So I don't know how difficult it is on their end to do. I don't think it will be, just based on it's not like a major change that I think needs to be done. All I want is for like the chats to never leave this screen unless I dismiss them. And if they make that change, which hopefully they will, then that'll not be a problem. But no, not a problem at all. Gorilla Hands. Reinhardt, another generous donation, says here, comma. So he's fixed his comment. So I appreciate that, Reinhardt. All right, so that's Entropy, and we're gonna go over to Rumble. And we got a bunch on Rumble too.
Yay!
Let me give someone mod. How do I do that? Do I do it that way? Here we go. How do I mod him? I'll tell you what. I'll do that after the show. But I gotta unpin this so I can see underneath it. So, but yeah, we got. Let me paste that in my notes so I don't forget. Actually, just to be on the safe side. All right, we're good. All right, we have the Supreme Rabbi Satan, who says Shalom Goyim. Well, I appreciate that. Then we have Fanny Schrute says /. And then we've got Glamdring says congrats on the epic team up. Hope this leads to big things.
I'm so excited.
It's going to lead to big things. We're going to start selling penis pills and
absolutely, yeah.
Maybe timeshares.
But for real, I am forcing Devon to do some sponsor stuff.
Yeah,
we're going to have to.
I'm not going to do ad reads.
I'll do those. It's okay.
But I might make funny ads. I feel like that might be a good trade-off. Make like a humorous ad that plays maybe in the intro or something like that. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk. Anyway, you don't look that excited about the idea.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that would be great. I hate doing ad reads, but ads are the only way to really have a sustainable show. It just has to be done. I remember a time being like, I'm never going to do ads. And now I'm like, do you want to sponsor my show? Will you do that for me?
I'll let you be the shill.
Thank you. I'll do it.
But I'll tell you what, if we do ads, it's only going to be for pro-white, obviously, I think.
For sure, yeah.
It's only going to be with pro-white people.
Mm-hmm.
And to some extent, we're going to have to do that anyway. If we want to have a parallel economy, and like people are talking about, you have to promote those people that have businesses that are pro-white.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so I'm not opposed to that. Like there's a lot of companies that you'll hear from a lot of the dissident shows that they're sponsoring all these different shows. They deserve to be patronized. Like even if especially if it's something that you need. Like there's all kinds of different people out there that have good products that are pro-white. And so yeah. Let's see. We got TM. Oh wait, did I skip one? No, we did not. TMK 1335 with a generous dono and says, "Thank you both for all of the effort and sacrifice you have made to build your platforms. You have created massive communities of like-minded people and brought hope to an otherwise hopeless situation." Well,
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's been a rough 10 years.
I think that's more about you. I don't think people say I bring hope very often. So
you do, though. You make us all feel better. I mean, we all tune in for the Insomnia stream because there is solace in camaraderie in these dark times. And like, I know a lot of other people are listening and feel the same way that I do. And that's powerful. That's meaningful.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. TMK 1335. Then we got likes to watch, says no note. Well, I appreciate it anyway. And then we have Sticks Sent Me Here. Is the same Sticks that's going to jail, right? Like, what's going on with that right now? I thought I saw something. I'm going to jail. But
I got a soft spot for Sticks.
Sticks Sent Me Here has a big dono, very generous dono. And he says, good fortune to you both in your new endeavor. Well, I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Sticks Sent Me Here. Then we have Book Trek Grooves.
Hey!
That's one of your guys there?
Yeah.
It says, Halo, Techno, Cowboy, and Cowgirl. I expect you guys to buy a horse or a armored car called the Horse Buggy Bunny. Horse Buggy Bunny. Happy knitting and radio listening. All right. Well, yeah, I might get a horse at some point, actually.
Oh, man, he's going to be so excited.
It is possible. I'm a competent horse person, but
really?
I've never owned a horse. So.
Okay. I heard it's fairly easy.
It's not. It's really not hard at all.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's not easy at all.
No, it's not. It's not hard at all. I mean, it's not. I guess there are some people that just don't have the knack for it, but I think that it comes naturally. I think to most people that try it.
Yeah.
Then we have Flankert or Flank Erft. I don't know how to say that. It is amazing how right Devon was about Trump. Do you think normie whites will start waking up a little bit? No. Trump really betrayed all of us with this war. I don't think normie whites will ever wake up because that's what makes them normies. You know, it's like. Yeah, it's like saying, "Will black people ever stop committing crime?" It's like not really. You know, maybe some. Maybe some, but generally speaking, there's biological differences at play here, and the same thing with normies. They're just, I mean, really, I'm not being funny. They're biologically different than you. They are. It's not like there's no such thing as low IQ white people. There's tons of low IQ white people.
Right. And mid IQs. And then there's a lot of genetic selection for adopting outgroup ideas or ideas that are viewed as dangerous and for social, trying to stay within certain social groups. I mean, some people, until the zeitgeist shifts massively, they will just continue being normies no matter what. The truth is not really factor into their decision making.
No, it's survival. It's whatever they will support whoever they think is more likely to keep them surviving. And if Trump looks like he's the strongest guy that's going to make their 401ks good and everything, even if he's attacking Iran, they don't care about. Ultimately, they don't care. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't fly out of control into some like World War III thing. I don't think it's going to though.
I don't know. I hope not.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
The Jews are being really erratic, though.
Well, they are Jews. That is what they do. Then we got Mojack. Mojack says, "Good to see your new show." Well, I appreciate that, Mojack.
Thank you, Mojack. I've met him IRL too. That guy's awesome.
Oh, there you go. Another good Mojack. Not a lot of Mojacks in the world, but all the ones I've met have been upstanding people. Then we got Yo Jimbo. I used to call him Yo Jimbob. Yo Jimbo Rockford.
Yeah, I know him too.
And he says, first got to catch the replay because the show starts when my shift does. One question, Rebecca. Where do I send the anthrax?
Do I get another anthrax shirt? I wear that all the time. Thank you for that. I don't even like the band, but he sent us a shirt. So.
Oh. Then we got Purple Cat Mint. Says, congratulations on your very first show. I watched your first meetup on Rebecca's YouTube earlier, and it was funny because you were doing predictions. I had to look up black female doctor dancing surgery. What is that?
What? I don't remember this at all.
It says, I watched your first meetup on Rebecca's YouTube earlier, and it was funny because you were doing predictions. It just says I had look up black female doctor dancing / surgery.
I don't remember saying this.
Sorry, Purple Cat Mint.
I've said a lot of things online. I'm sorry.
All right. And then we got Warborn21 says,
Hi. He's
congrats on the new show, guys. You make a brilliant duo. Looking
Thank you
forward
so
to
much.
watching things develop. Keep up the great work.
Thank
Well, I
you.
appreciate that. Then we got Reaver from Craigslist says, is this a good place to find out about Bitcoin? When is the boomer eye doctor from Guatemala coming on the show?
Yeah, really.
All jokes aside, this show is off to a great start. Rocking collab, 10 out of 10.
I've made some mistakes, guys. I know.
Yeah, we'll never have a Bitcoin boomer on the show.
What,
Then
you don't want to
got-
have Jack Cruz on to yell at me for an hour?
Just to keep calling you like a dumb bitch for like an hour straight.
I was like, what is happening?
Like totally uncalled for no reason. Where it's just like, what? Why does he hate her so much?
Bitcoin to buy our house, so I guess that's why he was so mad.
Oh yeah, and it was All right, then we got but the sunlight cures everything. So you
I
should be
know,
a
really. If you stare
shirtless
into the
boomer.
sun, it'll get rid of your cancer.
Then we got Tom O'Hawk says, so
Hi.
Rebecca, are you under NDA or can you tell us what happened to the backlash?
Okay, well, I am not, but I am fearful of impending litigation. I mean, I guess as much as what I want to say is that like the backlash was my show. Dave did all the tech stuff and Cameron added really valuable analysis, but I got the group together and I prepped 100% of the show prep. I did that every show, chose all the topics, did all the pacing for the show. It was my show. And so it was really hard to give it up and to give it to somebody else, but I totally lost creative control of the process. And then like just my vision of the show, I just couldn't manage to achieve that. And so I didn't want to spend another 10 years like doing a podcast where I wasn't saying exactly what I wanted to. And we just had a difference in vision and I couldn't criticize Nick Fuentes. And so I was like, I gotta go. So yeah, it's Dave's show now. He owns the whole thing. I just had to give it to him. So
There you go. All right. And we got Reaver from Craigslist says, my bad for going Jew mode with a $1 hyper chat earlier. Forgot to change the donation amount. Mental defect moment. No problem. We like our dollars. We like our dollars.
$1. I don't want to do a Stefan Molyneux style crash out, but at some point, if the show gets too long, we are going to have to go to $10 and up, which is my idea.
Well,
Not
honestly,
Devin, don't
even if
believe
we did that, we'd still be reading most of these. So
That's awesome.
All right, then we got Ryan says, Rebecca recently went out, got all hot and in good shape. Now you want to take her stupid pretty face away? I blame Devon. Yeah, no, that was my bad. He's talking about like when this graphic's up and we can't see us.
Oh, okay.
So I need to make it so. I had to. I'll have to add it so that you can see our little TV screens in that thing. I had so much. I mean, I did a whole broadcast back. You got to realize something like this usually takes a lot longer than like 4 days. So to come up with.
Yeah, really.
So but
no, you did a great job. It looks awesome.
It'll evolve. It'll get better.
And I have to glaze myself. I can't believe somebody noticed it, but I have been religiously weightlifting for like 4 months now. So thank you, somebody, for noticing. I really appreciate it.
Trying to get all ripped. You'd taken TRT and.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, I just want to be like toned and
Hulk
fit
mode.
and be able to carry my fat baby a little more easily and stuff. So
That
groceries
makes
and a fat baby. That's really what I want.
All right. Then we got Guitar Dude says, can someone tell us what happened with the backlash? Also, can we see Rebecca's face and body? She's hot. So there you go.
Well, I literally just answered another super chat that said this, but
Yeah.
Creative differences. Let's say that.
So we're good there. Then we got Mackenzie Doom says, Devon and Rebecca, thank you for the stream. I'm listening while road biking my daily 20 miles because if we're going to be outlaws, we got to be fit.
That's so true. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. This warms my heart.
And we got Negro Spritzer, of course. We all know what he's saying. And we're not on YouTube. So he explains that let me just put it this way. He likes the idea with the hole in the schoolhouse. and he thinks that it's actually an appropriate thing, not just for Negroes, perhaps, but for all kinds of people.
Yeah.
And then we got Jake Tungseth says, God damn, you guys are perfect together. You had two, or wait, I'm not good at reading apparently. You two had me rolling laughing, talking about the Nig getting burned alive at the schoolhouse. I found my new favorite pod.
Yay!
Then we got How's It Going says, they turned that Velcro head into a candle and shit. Then we got Trufflebee says, great first episode. Love the time slot. So there's a vote for the time slot. There's someone that likes the time slot there.
We're not married to the time slot, but it's nice to have something during the day, and we'll see how it goes, and
Well, and people can always watch the replay, so it's nice to have something like, or like, like you say, a lot of people listen to stuff at work and things like that. So we got great, Fanny Schrute says, great show, guys. May I suggest more pit? Well, I think we might do more hole in the roof instead of pit. Yeah. I might have to make like an AI song about holes in roofs or something like that. Then we got Relic, maybe Relic spelled interestingly. Looking forward to future of this show. Two favorite streamers coming together. I don't know why you left the backlash, but say the word and we can't say that.
Say it.
Say the word and Dave is dead to me. Dave is dead to me. I thought it was a threat of murder for a second.
No, I don't want to get down in the mud like I did with my last pod. But whatever you're imagining happened based on what you know about us is what happened. So
there you
just
go.
Keep that in mind.
There you go. Then we get Art Stanton says, great show, guys. This 180 pulled by MAGA, where there's suddenly pro-regime change, has broken my brain. How much of it do you think is bots and sock puppets? What do you think?
A lot. Definitely a lot. I mean, when you block accounts, how much does your Twitter timeline quiet down? It's substantial.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, you can live in a totally different universe by just blocking a handful of accounts.
Yeah.
It is weird. But I will say this, as much as I'm sure there are LLMs and all kinds of AIs now participating in social media, and unfortunately the technology is good enough to where it's going to get harder and harder and nearly impossible to spot, if not already. At the same time, I don't know. I do feel like there is a shift, right? There is a shift. We do live in, we are kind of siloed in little echo chambers, but there is a shift, I think, because even within our own echo chamber, there's been a shift, and I would guess it's less dramatic in normie sphere. And I'll tell you what, as you guys know, I listen to like ham radio boomers occasionally, and they're still like on fucking planet neocon. So it's like, to them, this is all great. That they're fine with it. They think it's a long time coming. They're all about it. So there's still like a lot of people that are just are totally insulated from the kinds of conversations that we're having.
Right. It's really difficult to get a gauge on what the general public thinks because we are in this echo chamber. I feel like everyone's jaywalk.
Well, and you live in a weird part of the country too. So
right.
Like if you go out and talk to the average person, you're going to hear different stuff than I would, because out here it's Boomerville. Like there's a lot of snowbirds that come out here, from cold places. And I mean, these are like upper middle class boomers who drive a $150,000 RV, and so they're all about their 401ks and tax breaks, and they all love Trump. I can't tell you how many signs that said "fuck Biden" like back, a couple years back when that was going on. There were giant, giant homemade boomer billboards that said "fuck Joe Biden," like bigger than you've ever seen at the side of the road and shit. Which was slightly heartwarming because their heart's in the right place, but also kind of like, boy. And then Arch Stanton also says the roof hole is the new pit. Trannies need to get in the roof hole. There we go. See, already we're creating memes. Nemby says faggots.
Faggots.
Fanny Schrute says long live the pit. So maybe that's a vote for the pit. Then we got Cage Mushinjuro, who just says /. Evergreen Dream says congrats on the first stream.
Thank you so much.
Evergreen Dream also says buy yourself some Arizona green teas and pour them out for a retarded faggot. He's an old regular of the show that hasn't been around in a long time, but dead but not forgotten. Then we got King Saltine says I dig the new show. The new song is a banger. Check your DM on X. I'm gonna send you a new video, The Shit Show. Looking forward to DOTR 2. Well, I appreciate that. For anyone who's new from Rebecca, if you want to hear some pro-white, admittedly AI generated music, although it's not as crap as you might think just by hearing that, there is a band that I robotically made called Pale Siren, and the last song is called Is It? And I think it's pretty good. It's a good song.
Dude, some of his AI music slaps. You've sent me some stuff where all day I've been singing it.
Yeah, see? Yeah, and but yes, I appreciate that. And yes, DOTR 2 is also not forgotten. It's just, obviously, I'm a busy man. Very busy man. Rebecca made me busier the last few weeks, so it's...
Sorry.
That's fine. We got over the hump. Like, this is the rush to make sure we didn't look like idiots on the air is over finally.
That is the standard for any first podcast.
Yeah, just
am I going to look like an idiot? Yeah.
Is it not if it's a disaster, that's a fail, but I don't think it was a disaster. We're doing good here.
It was pretty good.
Pretty okay. Pretty all right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we got the roof hole. And we got Jafig says, glad I got to work from home today to see the premiere. Devon makes me hopeful. Blonde is cool too. Well,
thank you so much.
Then we got Optics Prime says, replay squad checking in. Catch you on the flip side. All right. Scroll. Cage Mushinjaro says, our burden is to shift the zeitgeist. Revolver 357 says, we need a cheesy 90s DJ voice intro. Welcome, partners. You are now listening to the Outlaws, the darkest place of the far right, with Devon and Rebecca. We can maybe do something like that. I kind of wanted the announcer voice though. That was I thought it'd be fun, and I want it to be like a real show. Like I want to make this like I would make a normal show if someone paid me to do like the broadcast design. Then we got N Tower Crane Operator says, still can't figure out where Devon's mic sounder came from. Love the new show. The mic.
Oh, okay.
It's Bigfoot related. Rupert says, so no more Insomnia stream on Wednesday, Professor Stack. No, not right now. Maybe once I get in the groove of this, it's possible that the Insomnia stream goes back to 2 nights or something like that, but not until we smooth this out and make sure that everything's good, and probably not all spring, because the whole reason I was going to shift to this in the first place is doing beekeeping in the daytime is really hard to do when you've been up till 3 or so in the morning, and so this is a better time slot, and you're getting 2 for 1, right? You're getting 2 for 1. It's a 2 for 1 stream. It's all And she's better to look at than I am, right? So there you go.
Devin, nobody asked for this. All right. You guys are going to take it and you're going to like it. This is what you get.
Then we got No Long Pork says, Devin, we need a cartoon AI churro for your screen. That is your voice as you do the show. I'll tell you what, you're probably going to get like a real churro coming in during the day. He's he usually sleeps during the day, especially as it heats up. He'll get more and more asleep during the day, but he'll probably interrupt stuff. Then we got Crazy Horse says, Devin should have a bulldozer tractor fight with Owen Benjamin and him in a mud pit. Interesting idea. Then we got Sticks Sent Me Here says, hey, I was a normie once. Then I got beat up by 2 nigs. Then beat up by 10 spics. Same thing. No. Then almost killed by 2 nigs. Not normie anymore.
Oh, geez. I wonder where he lives.
Have you ever had any bad interactions with diversity yourself? Is it
Who, me?
A case of, you ever had, like, I guess the answer to the question, who hurt you?
Well, I went to a high school with inner city busing, so I went to an elementary school with inner city busing, so I was pretty much from the beginning, like, I remember being like, I don't like the way these people smell. And blonde-pilled at age 6 or whatever.
Yeah, I've unfortunately, I've had experiences with diversity since a very young age.
Yeah.
That was a pattern I picked up on pretty quick. Then we got a super big dono from Super Daphne. Really appreciate that. Super Daphne says, great collaboration.
Super Daphne, no relation to me. I don't know this person at all.
Well, that's really, really kind of you, Super Daphne. Who
love you, Mom. Did you name a beehive after her?
Yes.
Yay!
Absolutely. I got to find out which ones are still alive. So that's one of the beekeeping things I got to do is winter is officially 100% over. It's more than over now out here. And so I got to go and see who made it. You know, who's still with us. Probably not any of the nice ones. It's probably going to have to be an Africanized beehive because those are the only ones that seem to make it every year. But we'll see. Last year there were still a few hanging on of the European ones. Mackenzie Doom says, Devin, my handle is Mackenzie Doom, not Mackenzie Doom. Wait, what? I'm gonna have AI read it, or not AI.
Am I retarded?
Let's see here. Okay, when I played it with my robo voice, it said Maccanonize Doom. Is it Maccanonize Doom, not Mackenzie Doom?
I don't know what's going
on. Mechanized Doom? I don't know. I'll say mechanized Doom. How about that? That sounds
I don't have the chat in front of my face, so this all sounds like gibberish to me.
It is gibberish, pretty much. Oh. No love lost, and keep up the good work. Well, I appreciate that. All right, then we got Team White. Team White says, this is very encouraging. Sorry I'm late. I can't wait to watch the full replay.
Yay.
All right, then we got Sticks Sent Me Here again. Says, oh yeah, I should have explained. I was bussed into city schools, as were many people, many such cases.
Wait, you got bussed into the city school?
Yeah, they did that too. You didn't know that? They bussed white kids into the black schools.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. I had the misfortune of just living in a ghetto in California when I was a youngin'. And so the house behind my house was government housing. So that was the neighborhood I lived in. You can imagine the fun that I got to experience. But they if you were like some white suburban kid, they would bus you to the inner city. It was like an exchange program, basically, if you think of it that way. So yeah.
Well, proximity to black people turns people into turbo racists. Just every time. Every time.
All right, then we got King Saltine says, I dig the new show. The new song, Is It? A banger.
Did we read this?
Rumble does this. Rumble duplicates. All right, so let's see here. All right, Glamdring says, I wrote a song. I actually wrote it myself. No AI except the music. It took me 2 weeks of reworking and tweaking. Be awesome if you guys listened to it, and then gave the link.
Thank you.
That out. And for the record, I write all the lyrics for all my songs. AI doesn't write my songs. All right, then we got. I'm gonna check Entropy one more time. Make sure we didn't miss any. We got one more on Entropy, and it's QRZ Waffen. Says, I see you blonde woman are a member of the cult of Saturnalia. Devon, she has come to de-radicalize you on behalf of her Saturn cult. LOL JK, but for real though, great show. All right. Well,
I mean, do you ever wonder if there's even a more radical position you could take? I think I've gone about as far as
here's the thing: I'm way more radical than I say.
Well, yeah, so am I.
For legal purposes, I have to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for like, I can't think of anything where I'd be like, oh, slow down, guys. That's too far.
No.
You got to remember, I think hole in the school roof is good. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know
do
how
you ever
much...
play out hypotheticals in your mind? Like if I could press a button in XYZ. Would I really do it? I just think about that all the time, and I'm getting to the place where I'm like, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah, no, it's not a thought experiment for me. It's more just like I would absolutely do it. Where's this button?
Yeah, really.
I want to find this button because I would just keep pushing it until like my fingers bled.
Yeah, find the button, put them in the roof hole.
The roof hole button.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's everybody. Unless of course, there's always gonna be someone that's like, you missed mine because something messed up. But I'm pretty sure we got everything. All right, guys. Well, anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Thank you so much for joining us on our first show of The Outlaws. We are going to be getting better every single week. Next week, we will be streaming on YouTube as well. And we really appreciate your time. So we will see you next week at noon Pacific Standard Time. Rumble, probably stream on Odyssey again, YouTube. And we will see you there. What about you? Anything you want to say?
No, I guess just make sure you check out the Insomnia stream on Saturday, because the YouTube thing, I guess wherever you're watching it right now will also be where the Insomnia stream happens. Oh, let me just make sure I didn't, Love and Division might have sent something Odyssey. No, we're good. I have one person that sends Odyssey chat things because it's some weird crypto thing, but, so I just want to make sure I wasn't screwing them. All right. So, but yeah, just make sure you're here Saturday for, at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern time, or no, Pacific time. This is still early for me. And we're gonna have a great stream on Saturday, and make sure you tune in every Wednesday at high noon, also Pacific time, for future Outlaws streams. And with that, I guess I will bid you guys farewell. And I have my Insomnia sign-off thing. Do you have a sign-off that you do?
Nope.
All right. Peace out, niggas.